Hey everyone, here I am again with my beautiful ritual, my end of the year speech. This is not a general recap of 2025. I will try to leave out all the dreadful news. The more terrible the outside world collapses onto us, the more important it becomes, I think, to give ourselves a little space, a moment to reflect on whether there were also some beautiful moments, developments, tiny little things to be proud of, moments that let our brains breathe for a second. Because it's not the stress, we all have stress, that destroys our brains. It's the constant mental rumination. Something I know far too well myself. So this is a very personal review. I originally started this ritual 5 years ago, a year that brought so many new things, exciting things into my life, a year that changed my world and my life entirely. I was catapulted into a new life phase and felt the urge to share that with you at the end of the year. I don't keep a diary, I wish I did, but at least this ritual forces me once a year to sit down for a moment and to think about what actually happened. So 2025 basically just started, and somehow it's already ending. I'm a bit excited, and I almost don't dare to say it out loud. But if I push aside all the noise, there is this feeling of excitement and anticipation for the year ahead. Why? I turned 50 this year. And yes, I'm getting older, what a surprise, and I'm getting wiser, and I'm getting blinder, as you can see, but more on that later. Yes, I'm getting a bit wiser. So I started this year doing a lot of emotional work. I was working on myself, and it's extremely exhausting. And it often took away a lot of energy to do things out of my profession and my calling. Because when you embark on such a heavy journey, it can become a bumpy road at first. And that's exactly what happened. But even more than I feared the bumps, I was curious about what might change because of them, because of the bumps. When I watched last year's recap video, I can see that I wasn't doing well. And maybe you could see that too. I looked like a plucked chicken. My hair was like a bird's nest, no makeup. And yeah, it was a really heavy situation. It was a moment when a lot of really huge doors closed up for me, and I had to force myself a lot to believe in that sentence, like, if doors closed, other will open. Yeah, I was very devastated. But yes, doors did open. And actually, I actively went out to open some myself. And I also looked where I might be unconsciously closing some doors. And yeah, if I was maybe standing in my own way. And where I maybe just let things happen instead of going back into the driver's seat and say, like, no, I want it this way and not that way, and taking the responsibility for that. And this year I traveled with the Fashion Council Germany to New York in April and in Tokyo in November. And these trips were important for me. Nothing really remarkable happened, no business deals or anything like that. But it was more about the fact that after 2 years of being really quiet and very little, maybe it didn't look like that from the outside, but I can tell you, it was like that. Finally, after those 2 years, I stepped out again and truly looked and truly listened. So it felt good to hear the stories of the other designers, to realize you're not alone on this path, you're not alone in this struggle, and to learn from each other. And it was a reminder, the trip reminded me of what I want for myself, and especially for my brand, and how I can now work towards making it happen. As if I planted the seeds this year, and now I just need to water them to become alive next year. So 2026 will be not a year of relaxation. It will be a lot of work, but that has actually never bothered me. So I'm looking forward to it. Another very special moment this year was my 4-day live performance at the Fashion Positions Art Fair. 31 hours in total. I was sitting there, bringing order into disorder, and I suspect this was symbolic in many ways. Even during the preparation, I had enormous respect for the performance, and yes, a bit of fear too. But above all, I felt a childlike excitement, something I hadn't felt in a long time. I felt like the 6-year-old little Esther who has her birthday coming up soon. The performance really pushed me mentally and physically to my limits, but in a positive way, because it kind of shifted my boundaries, opened new spaces, expanded me. I don't know, but it was amazing. So I feel like nothing makes you grow as much as stepping out of your comfort zone. It's uncomfortable and it's painful, but it's what trains the brain enormously. And yes, I'm getting blinder. What a boring, normal story to tell about getting older. But I'm so happy about these glasses because they belong to the story of 2025. I really hate glasses, especially on me. So now there are still window glasses inside, but the real ones are coming soon. Yeah, I hate glasses, but these pair stared at me and I stared back. Then I tried them on, and that was it. Where did this happen? Of course, in Japan, where the best eyewear comes from. I put them back on the shelf, left them there, but 2 people from Germany made sure they would end up coming home with me to Berlin. And I'm really endlessly grateful for that. Enough looking back. Now it's about looking forward. Take care, everyone. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Stay true to yourself. Be kind with another. And take a moment to search for those little buried joys. Happy New Year.